So the song that we just sang, He Leadeth Me, it's a blessing to me to think in terms of these men and their dear wives representing 60 years of how God has been leading them. And God has been faithful and blessed them, that they've been singing of the grace of God in Jesus Christ for that many years. They, almost once a year, you guys have done a reunion where you go and you meet up at different places. We get the blessing of having it be here this year. And I wanted to take a minute because some of you are new and may not have put some dots together. So if you're new, I want to point out two particular things before us. So Dan Wolf on my right, your left, Dan Wolf was the pastor of this church for over 50 years. Yes. So, yeah. Sometimes I assume people knew that, but I don't want to assume that. The Lord, through Pastor Dan, started this church, and then his dear friend, Dan Reese, went to Marion College together. What's that?
They thought we were brothers because we both, our first names are Dan.
There you go. Right.
Ask, are you brothers?
And my other brother, Dan. But he came, Dan Reese also came at the same time to come alongside, say, hey, I'll do the worship ministry, I'll be your right-hand man. And they've been going at it all these years and been faithful to Christ all of these years. And I just wanted to make sure people knew that. The Lord has been kind to have that demonstration of faithfulness to us. And then you two brothers, I've never met before. They'll tell more stories about that. Most of them will probably be true, or?
Not worried.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. It is a blessing to have you here. We're so thankful.
Well, it's good to be here, and we're going to introduce ourselves like we did back in 1964. So we had a song that we started with. Then afterwards, we will give our names and where we're from. Well, we're from, where we were from then and what we were studying.
A song is a beautiful thing. Voices join in full-throated melody and live to blend in glorious harmony. Men's hearts are moved, e'en lifted to ecstasy with a song. For a song is a beautiful thing. But when I sing, Lord, let it not be for this alone, lest fruitless I be when day is done. Touch thou my lips, thy beauty let me see, and fill my heart with love eternally, that men may come to know and adore thee. Lord, this prayer I bring, Lord, for thee I sing.
Get a little emotional singing with these guys again. We forgot to introduce ourselves. You want to start over there?
You know about, this is Dan and Dan. You remember the New Heart show? Yeah. Daryl and my other brother Daryl? Okay, go ahead.
I'm Mark Davis. In college, I was from Sturgis, Michigan, majoring in religion. I'm not from Sturgis anymore. I'm from Hudsonville, Michigan. You've heard of Hudsonville ice cream, perhaps? Well, it's not from Hudsonville. And my wife, Cynthia, here. I have 2 children, 6 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren.
Jim Vermelia, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, currently Noblesville, Indiana. 5 children, 16 grandchildren, 8 great-great-grandchildren. No, not great-great. 8 great grandchildren. Yes, what did I leave out, Mark?
I think that's about it.
Okay, good.
You mentioned Jeanette, didn't you?
Yeah, Jeanette.
Jeanette, yes.
Over there in the orange is my wife.
Yes.
Dan Wolf, clueless in Milwaukee and still clueless.
Dan Reese from Bremen, Indiana, majoring in education. It was truly a blessing and an honor to be chosen by the college to represent them. They give us a station wagon. It was a new station wagon, and sent us 4 guys off across the country. We were gone every weekend to a church or some religious organization to sing during the winter months when we were in college, and college was on. But in the summer, we were sent out to various youth camps. And back then, there were tabernacles all over the Midwest. And we'd go to the old tabernacle circuit and sing there. And it was truly, truly a blessing. These guys are examples of God's faithfulness and perseverance. I'm really proud of each one of them up here. Sorry to be, I don't mean this, guys.
I know it.
You've never heard this before.
This has never happened before.
Never happened.
But, I mean, the things these folks have done are amazing. We have missionaries, we have people who are, have been college professors for 20 years. We have people who are still fighting for the truth of the gospel in their area. Mark lives in a Reformed community, but there's tendency to be a lot of liberalism coming out where the Bible is whatever touches you is what's important. And he's been fighting for the truth of the gospel in that area. I'm very proud of that. And he's been a missionary as well. Matter of fact, I couldn't get a hold of him to kind of make sure things were going to happen here because he was off in Greece, going up to Mars Hill and in Thessalonica. They call it Thessaloniki and Ephesus. And of course, it didn't make me jealous at all. But anyway, and Jim and his wife is sitting there, and Mark's wife. Did you point her out?
I did point Cynthia out,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Yes.
And Jeanette is next to Cynthia.
Yeah, they're both right there.
But Jim and Jeanette were
They're praying.
Where's the hook?
they were missionaries in Haiti, and then he came back and took church, became a district superintendent, and then later became a college professor at Indiana Wesleyan. That's what Indiana Wesleyan began. And we were supposed to represent Christ, but we were also supposed to represent the college and take names. So we had postcards, and we'd take, to get a postcard, we'd also hand them a name card to fill out. And so we were to reach a wide audience. And this is one of those where we were supposed to do for maybe younger people, okay?
This was cutting edge stuff for the youth group.
So indulge us with this, okay? There's some actions in it. It used to be that this guy would come and jump into my arms. Then that won't work anymore. When I get to heaven, gonna sing and shout. There's somebody there to turn me out. When I get to heaven, put on my new shoes. Gonna walk around and tell the good news.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven. Good Lord, I hope I'll join the band. Well, I read of Methuselah from his birth, the oldest man that ever lived on earth. He lived 900 years and 69, died and went to heaven in a plenty good time.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven. Good Lord, I hope I'll join the band. Well, Satan, like a snake falling in the grass, always getting in some Christian's path. Satan is a liar and a conjurer too. If you don't watch out, he'll conjure you.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven.
Now look away.
Now look away to heaven. Good Lord, I hope I'll join divine. Well, I used to have to fake acting like an older gentleman, but it comes pretty easy now. This next song is one of our favorite songs that we sang about the work of Christ. And I was listening to Alistair Begg this week, and he said, "Did you know there's a dress code to get into heaven?" I thought, whoa. Well, the thief on the cross, he wasn't wearing much. But yet he went. He said, you have to be clothed in the righteousness of Christ. Yes. That old song of the solid rock, Christ the solid rock I stand, and when he shall come with the trumpet sound, may I then in him be found, dressed in his righteousness alone. So we are not only saved by the atonement of Christ's death on the cross, where he absorbed wrath, but we are also accorded the same righteousness that David and Abraham received in Romans 4. You can read about that. So this song talks about the wonderful gift and treasure that we have in Christ Jesus. It's called Blessed Calvary. Blessed Calvary, blessed Calvary, I look at the cross upon Calvary, and oh, what a wonder divine, to think of the wealth it holds for me. The riches of heaven are mine. Blessed Calvary, precious Calvary, 'neath thy shadow I'll ever abide. Blessed Calvary, precious Calvary, 'twas there Jesus suffered and died. The cross is my hope for eternity. No merit have I of my own. The shed blood of Christ, my only plea. My trust is in Jesus alone. Blessed Calvary, precious Calvary, 'neath thy shadow I'll ever abide. Blessed Calvary, precious Calvary, 'twas there Jesus suffered and died. Blessed Calvary, precious Calvary.